Thank you, Stan. My first reaction is to sit down and say nothing because he's hard to follow in that introduction. He's been a friend for 40 years. But today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm reminded of my good friend, Joe Coleman, who was chairman and president of the Hall of Fame here many years. And Joe wrote a book entitled, Yes, I'm a Lucky Guy. And that's the way I feel today. I'm a lucky guy. My whole life has been involved in tennis since I was 9 years old. It has afforded me travel, friends, taught me discipline and the value of training and working hard to achieve one's goals. Tennis has given me many thrills, many passion, and many rewards, for which I'm very deeply grateful. My life has been enriched and helped by many people. You know that old, well-used cliche, behind every man is a successful woman. Well, in my case, I've had 5, so I'm way ahead of the game. First, my beautiful and talented wife, Carol. She's been my strength and my love for 40 years. Carol, thank you for all that you've done. My loving daughters, Alexandra and Christina, who have made me so proud. And my caring sister, Mary Lou, is here today at the end of the row, and she has always been supportive and helpful. And finally, my 101-year-old mother, known as Gaga, who is living in Washington today and has taught me so much about human values and appreciation. Unfortunately, she is home today, not feeling too well, but I am sure she is watching this celebration on television. Hello, Gaga. I hope you're feeling better. Many others have helped me in my tennis career and in my life. Stan Smith and Arthur Ashe, as you have heard, my first 2 clients. I used to say about Stan and Arthur, they're good people, wonderful people who happen to be great players. And I really want to stress that. I was spoiled very early on by Stan and Arthur. I had many other great champions after them, Jimmy Connors, Ivan Lendl, Tracy Austin, Gabrielle Sabatini, Michael Jordan, Patrick Ewing, but none of them can compare in quality of character to Stan and Arthur. The one who made the greatest impact on me in tennis is my great friend, Jack Kramer. Jack is home today in Los Angeles, 87 years old. But when I first met Jack, he selected me on a backcourt here at Newport for the Junior Davis Cup team in 1954, of which he was the captain, the trainer, the coach, and he traveled with us for 4 weeks, 8 juniors throughout America. And I will never, ever forget all the things Jack taught me about people, about life, and about tennis. So Jack, get well. We look forward to seeing you in the LA tournament. And lastly, Bob Kelleher. Bob is a federal judge in Los Angeles, a former president of the USTA, who trusted and appointed me at 29 years of age as the Davis Cup captain in 1968. The last 4 people, Stan, Arthur, Jack, and Bob, are all members of the Hall of Fame. In the 1960s and the early 70s, I wanted to win the Davis Cup and make tennis much more professional. I dreamed of creating a pro tour where tennis players were perceived not merely as tennis bums, but rather professional tennis players, like golfers, who made their livings and careers in tennis, like a doctor or a lawyer. When asked, what do you do for a living besides playing tennis? The answer changed in 1970s to I am a professional tennis player. To help accomplish this goal and promote the sport, Jack Kramer and I, along with Cliff Drysdale, John Newcomb, Stan Smith, Charlie Passarell, and Arthur Ashe, founded the Association of Tennis Professionals in 1972, the ATP. For me, personally, winning the U.S. Boys Championship at 15 in Kalamazoo was a big thrill. But losing to Rodney George Laver in the finals of the 18s 3 years later brought me back to reality. I represented America playing on the Davis Cup teams in the 60s against Mexico, India, Italy, and Iran, along with Gene Scott, my great pal and teammate at Yale and law school. But my biggest thrill in tennis was captaining the 1968 winning team, which beat Australia in Adelaide 4-1, and the Australian team was led by the renowned Harry Hopman, who was the Australian captain from 1939 to 1968. Beating Harry in Australia in his last tie was a great win for American tennis. Thereafter, our team of Arthur Ashe, Stan Smith, Bob Lutz, Charlie Passerelle, and Clark Graebner successfully defended the cup against a formidable Romanian team of Nastasi and Tiriac in Cleveland in '69. I retired as an undefeated Davis Cup captain, but that Davis Cup experience, traveling and working with my Davis Cup friends and teammates, was the happiest days of my life in tennis. I want to point out one thing in the Hall of Fame and what it stands for. The Australian tennis players set the pace in the 60s and 70s with such great players as Fraser, Laver, Emerson, Rosewall, Hode, Newcomb, and Roach. Just think for a moment how dominant those names in world tennis were in the 60s and 70s. They were the closest of friends and best of sports, with real integrity and concern for the game, its growth, and its well-being. The U.S. ambassador to Australia, Bill Battle, once announced to the press, quote, that Australia's greatest natural resource was exporting its tennis players around the world. And he was right. I want each of you here that love tennis, remember the TV picture 6 days ago at Wimbledon at the finals on Sunday with 4 world champions sitting in the first row of the Royal Box: Pete Sampras, Manuel Santana, Rod Laver, and Bjorn Borg. They were watching a tremendous battle between Roddick and Federer in the finals, all sitting side by side, all extraordinary champions who are even better human beings. They reflect a portrait of champions and friendship based on mutual respect for each other, earned on and off the court. That Wimbledon picture of those tennis giants already in the Hall of Fame is what the International Tennis Hall of Fame stands for and means to me today. The International Tennis Hall of Fame mission statement states they are dedicated to preserving the history of tennis, inspiring and encouraging junior development, enshrining tennis heroes and heroines who provide a landmark for tennis enthusiasts worldwide. This mission statement says it all for me, as we at the International Tennis Hall of Fame work very hard to remember and honor the legends of the sport. In conclusion, that is why I'm so honored and proud to be chosen amongst these great champions and the sporting camaraderie they bring to the sport. The International Tennis Hall of Fame, for me, is like a special, unique brotherhood or sisterhood of a group of wonderful men and women players. And I am truly honored, very honored, to be inducted into the Hall of Fame today. The motto of the International Club summarizes it so well for those who love tennis, compete in tennis, and work to achieve in tennis. And it goes like this: to set the love beyond the prize, to honor while you strike him down, the foe that comes with fearless eyes, and dear the land that gave you birth, and dearer yet the brotherhood that binds the brave of all the earth. Like I said before, I'm a lucky guy. Thank you.
Donald, on behalf of the International Tennis Hall of Fame and our president and Hall of Famer Tony Trabert, we are proud to present you with your Hall of Famer blazer, as well as your certificate as an inductee of the International Tennis Hall of Fame. Come on out here. Come on out here. Walk out here. Walk out here, Tony.